Nights at Freddy's, a game that's been going on ever since August of 2014. Whether you hate it, whether you love it, doesn't really matter. You cannot deny the fact that you have heard of Five Nights at Freddy's before. Considering the fact that this new movie releases in a little while, maybe even the day you see this or after you see this video, I feel like it's about time for me to finally make a proper FNaF video on this channel. Let's rank the FNaF games from worst to best. There's been plenty of them, so we have plenty of picks to choose from. I'm not gonna waste any more of you guys' time, so without further ado, let's talk about Five Nights at Freddy's. What's up, everybody? It is TrueSage, and of course it's always, it's pronounced TrueSage. Now listen, even though I'm in a tier maker, I'm not gonna rank them from S to A tier. I'm just gonna put them in each tier of its own from worst to best. Now, this list does not include security breach, but don't worry, we'll be handling security breach very soon.
I'm gonna shove a beak inside of you, and you are going to be able to talk better. Did you hate the idea that much?
Alright, so let's just go ahead and get started. I'm not counting these troll games, honestly. FNaF World was half a troll game, halfway Scott Cawthon, being for real, but doesn't matter. Trash. Last place at the worst FNaF game. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Amongst those 9 canon FNaF games, out the worst out of all of them, at last place, I'm gonna have a picture of it, is FNaF Security Breach. Now, if you come from my channel, you see my streams, you probably can understand the hatred that I have for this game.
Worst game I have ever played on my live stream. I have never played the game on live that is as bad as FNaF Security Breach. This game is absolute dog. This game is dog water. This game is ass.
I'm not gonna go too hard on FNaF Security Breach, but I will say this. The initial game on release was very flawed, very buggy, and people was talking about, oh, wait till they fix the bug. It didn't matter. Even if they removed all of the bugs, the game itself just really was not that hot. The lore was all over the place. DLC was kind of alright though, but FNaF Security Breach just was not it at all. I think Security Breach easily takes the worst game amongst the franchise. Now, coming into the second to last place, it's my personal opinion, but it's maybe an unpopular opinion, but coming in last place is going to be Sister Location. I don't think Sister Location is bad, I just think that it's kind of weird, honestly. Most of the time you spend in Sister Location isn't even the traditional FNaF format. But whenever you actually do get to the traditional FNaF format, I just don't think it's any good compared to the other ones. It does implement a lot of interesting lore in the game, and it does have interesting game elements itself. Sorry, not sorry, that was your favorite FNaF game. Also, I'm not too fond of the Funtime animatronics. I think those are probably the worst animatronics in the entire franchise, honestly. Baby's kind of cool, though. Again, at the 7th spot for the FNaF games, I'm actually going to have to put FNaF 3. Now, I feel like FNaF 3 is one of those games that was very hit or miss with the community. Whether either people absolutely love FNaF 3 and think it's the best amongst the franchise, or people think it's probably one of the worst. I lean more on it's probably one of the lesser FNaF games. I don't think it's bad. I think Scott Cawthon took a very brave decision to try to make the game the way it is. But there only being one animatronic that can actually kill you, that was different than the previous FNaF games we saw before that. I do think the game has pretty interesting lore. I think it does have pretty interesting character designs. I really like the arcade. I really like the ambience. I really like the endings. It's just the core gameplay itself just was kind of weird. I didn't really know if I like it or not, so I'm going to have to just put it right there where it belongs. C tier at the 7th place. Now, coming in at number 6, that's going to be Ultimate Custom Night. Now, Ultimate Custom Night is easily the hardest game amongst the entire FNaF franchise. It's a very interesting game. I've attempted the 50-20 mode. I think I got a minute tops. But it's exactly what it is. It's just an ultimate custom night. It's just a challenge. Not really meant for anything more than that, honestly. They do have some pretty interesting dialogues in the game. I think the animations for the game is kind of bad and could be worked on. It could be better, but I'm gonna put it exactly where it's at. I think it's better than FNaF 3 and FNaF Sister Location, though, honestly. Coming in at the number 5th spot is gonna be FNaF Pizza Simulator. FNaF Pizza Simulator I thought was pretty funny. I thought it was pretty interesting. It implemented a couple of gameplay mechanics that I thought was kind of cool. FNaF Pizza Simulator happens to hold the hardest FNaF dialogue of all time.
The darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole, so don't keep the devil waiting, old friend.
There's also the official ending for the original FNaF animatronics. What do you think? I don't know. to game theory makes a whole new theory that says that it isn't. Again, at the 4th spot for the FNAF picks, I'm actually going to put FNAF 4 at the S tier spot. Now, I think FNAF 4 easily has the coolest animatronic character design amongst the entire franchise. I really like the implement and the idea of having to listen out for the animatronics and flash the flashlight. I think there's also one of the scariest FNAF games amongst the entire franchise. Also has some of my favorite lore moments from the series itself within it. I thought that the whole what's in the box lore concept was probably one of my favorites. The FNAF 4 is a very great game, honestly. I really like the Halloween update as well, and I think FNAF 4 does deserve to be one of the higher tier FNAF games. Again, at the number 3 spot, wait, I don't know if they 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Wait. I'm gonna get the number 3rd spot for the FNAF games. I'm actually going to put the original FNAF. If you dislike the original FNAF, I don't really think you're a FNAF fan. It literally lays out the core gameplay mechanics of how FNAF games should be played. It's also, despite it being one of the first games, not even one of the first game in the franchise, it still holds up to be one of the creepiest, amazing ambiance. The original animatronic character designs are still good. The 420 mode was extremely hard but also beatable, and I think this is an all-around classic, and despite it still being the first game in the franchise, still holds up as one of the best FNAF games, no nostalgia included. Coming in at the number 2 spot, which is going to be just a little bit tricky, I'm just going to put FNAF Help Wanted at the number 2 spot. Now, to be fair, I think that FNAF Help Wanted is probably the best FNAF game in the franchise. And I know what you're probably thinking. If you say it's the best FNAF game in the franchise, why put it number 2? The fact that it's VR, I feel like it's cheating. It has a little bit of every single FNAF game in it. Its VR elements make the game the scariest FNAF game amongst the franchise. I never played it myself. I don't own a VR headset, but it definitely looks really, really, really fun. That's the first thing I will be playing when I do get a VR headset. Now, coming in at the number 1 spot is the Last Man Standing. Maybe unpopular opinion, maybe not. FNAF 2, I believe, is the greatest FNAF game so far in the installment. Don't count Help Wanted. Then FNAF 2 is the best. I think FNAF 2 did an amazing job for where it stood at its time and in the lore in the franchise. I think it was the perfect sequel to FNAF 2. It is an amazing combination with keeping the core gameplay mechanics of the original game, expanding and implementing new things that can surprise the audience, as well as I think that the character designs are pretty interesting. I love the Wither animatronics. I think that the toy animatronics were really cool. Everyone loves Toy G. If you don't count FNAF Help Wanted as a part of these games, then FNAF 2 is the best. If you do count FNAF Help Wanted, they can easily be swapped as FNAF Help Wanted is the best. If you guys have any objections, vulgar language, and any slur words, want to comment in the comment section for getting your favorite FNAF game at the very bottom, please leave in the comment section down below. And also, tell me, are you excited for this FNAF movie? Do you think the FNAF film is going to be mid, or do you think it's going to be fantastic? Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, all support is heavily appreciated. I'm out of here, and y'all need to keep it easy. I'm gone, and peace.
Wake up to reality. Nothing ever goes as planned in this accursed world. The longer you live, the more you will realize.